like I mentioned, rejection and a lot of other things that come up that you don't expect, and you need to just be able to really quickly adapt, see the best in the situation, and become really a problem solver.
Hi, welcome to the Realtors Conspiracy Podcast. I'm here today with Karlyn from Keller Williams.
Hi.
It's your second time?
Second time.
Thank you for coming back.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Do you want to tell us a quickly reminder about your background, why you joined real estate?
Why I joined real estate? It's a very anticlimactic story. Basically, I was working in the restaurant industry at the time when I decided, and I was also pregnant with my first son. So my husband and I just had a discussion, and we started to discuss, what kind of career is going to give us that flexibility that we want. And this is what we chose together. Okay. I'm really glad we did, but the flexibility part, I don't know if that's completely true, but it works. It works, and I love it, and it does allow me to have that time with my family. Yeah. It's good.
That brings me though. One of my questions is, for you, are the weekends sacred, or do you work through weekends, but now you wanted the flexibility?
Honestly, my clients are really important to me. Yeah. I typically try not to sort of take days off. Usually during the week is better. Okay. So if I look at my week and I have one day that's looking a little sparse appointment wise, I might, take that day and just take it for myself. Typically on the weekends, even if I do have to do showings or open houses, it's only for a couple of hours. It's not like a 9 to 5, 8-hour shift. So we can still, get in our family time and work around it. It does work for us really well.
The system did work for you.
Yes, for sure.
To go on the real
Definitely
estate.
Worked out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about challenges that you've encountered from the beginning of your career as you grew and then today? A lot of challenges, a lot. I think especially with social media. Yes. It's very easy to look at someone's life. I'm sure mine appears that way as well, of the highlight reels, right? It's everything that's good that's happening in your life. You don't see the challenges. It's kind of like an iceberg, the tip of success and all of the challenges underneath. So for me personally, the biggest challenge in the beginning was developing a tough skin, not taking things too personally, because as you know, this business is filled with rejection constantly. Mm-hmm. So I had to learn really, really quick that it's not personal, and that I need to just very quickly move on from that and not spend my time worrying about it. So that was probably the biggest thing for me. And then as my business progressed, new challenges did arise. I would say, though, the biggest thing would be developing a thick skin and a positive mindset as well. Yeah. There's a lot of, like I mentioned, rejection and a lot of other things that come up that you don't expect, and you need to just be able to really quickly adapt, see the best in the situation, and become really a problem solver versus, really focusing on the problem. Let's just find a solution quickly and keep things moving. Yeah. So for me personally, that's probably the biggest change that I've had to make as a person. Yeah. Not just in my business, but in my personal life. It kind of all spills. Yes. I had to become very, very positive thinking and solution focused. Okay. And I find that's really what keeps things going. It keeps me positive. I don't spend too much time thinking about the negative or the rejection. I just move on to the next thing. So, where do you see the solution finder part of you coming handy?
Well, I think with real estate, as much as we want every single deal to be, A, B, and C, unfortunately, that's not the case. Yeah. Hardly ever, really. Yeah. So you do come across challenges and things that do come up during the typical transaction, and you have to just deal with them. And when you're dealing with, somebody's largest investment of their life, potentially, most likely, you have to be adaptable and be able to see the solutions and be able to be creative. Otherwise, you're not going to get it done. Your clients are not going to have a good experience. Yeah. So for me, it's all about finding a solution instead of looking too closely at the problem. It's like, what can we do about it to move things forward?
Very good approach. Mm-hmm. They say what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
That's true.
What would be one thing that you remember made you stronger as a realtor?
I think going back to the rejection. Yeah. You know, in the beginning, it's very, you think, you know, what is wrong with me? Why didn't they choose me to work with me? And stuff like that. And I think now I look at it more like a numbers game. I need X amount of appointments to get the listing, or I need X amount of appointments to get that buyer. So now I sort of look at it that way. And if they don't choose me, I am okay with that. I just think, you know what? Wasn't meant to be. I have these other appointments. Let's just move on.
So tracking your activities.
Tracking activity is important. Yeah.
You want to know just the results, right?
Right. Yeah. You want to know how many appointments you need to go on to make a sale. And so it does just become a numbers game. And it is, I think the other piece to what I realized is it is a business. I'm running my own business and I need to treat it as such. And I think in the beginning, it's hard to,
it's emotional, it's personal.
It's personal, it's emotional. And then you get to a point where, you know, your skin gets a little thicker. Yeah. You're able to take a little bit more. Yeah. You're able to handle the rejections very easily. And you just kind of move on from there and grow. And, you know.
That's amazing that you went through all of that.
Yeah. It was a lot, to be honest. Yeah. Even for me personally, it was a huge learning curve. Yes. Huge. So, amazing. Yeah.
Let's talk about support. You're involved. You're on your own. You're not in a team.
Right.
So you reach out a lot to other realtors to support each other, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess you mean Real Estate Hacks.
Yes.
Yeah. Real Estate Hacks is great for that peer support because it can get very lonely in this business, and you can get kind of bogged down by that. It's not like you're coming to an office where there's tons of colleagues. It's usually just me, of course my clients, but usually just me. Yeah. So that support system is great if I need something, if I have a question, if we need a referral. Yeah. So that's great. I'm really glad that everyone is kind of, the realtors that are in there, very willing to share their experiences and their hacks for making real estate a little bit easier and more pleasant. I mean, I think everyone pretty much can agree in that group that we're all sort of trying to elevate the industry a bit.
The industry in general. Yeah. And helping each other, supporting each other is better than competing strongly, not helping.
Yeah, it's a highly, highly competitive career. So I think to have peers who can lean on each other is really important. Yes. Of course, you know, there's people in there that are in my market and that I am competing with realistically, but I think it's still a little more important to share best practices and stuff like that and be there for each other a little bit in what can be a very lonely business at times. So
the best practices part is a good one to help elevate the industry. Exactly.
Elevate it. Yeah. I think generally everybody in there, you know, I mean, you're in the group, you see the conversations that happen. So I think everybody has a general feeling that we need to kind of elevate the industry and kind of just show each other how to do that. Yeah. And the ways in which we can do that.
And everybody wins at the end.
Everybody wins at the end. And there, you know what, there's enough business for everybody.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, you kind of have to have that mindset, I think, too. And that is something also that I learned, you know, just because somebody gets it over me doesn't, you know, there's enough business for everybody. Yeah. What's meant for you will be for you, and what's meant for me will be for me, and I'm happy for you, you're happy for me.
Yeah.
You're
successful.
There's
you're
no
growing,
need for there's no need for the, you know, the jealousy and the competitiveness and all of that. So
negativity, all this stuff.
Then the negativity. Yeah. Try to definitely stay away from that. We have enough of that, you know, in our day to day and with the rejection and stuff. So I'm really thankful for that group. It's helped me personally a lot. Yeah. And I hope and wish that it helps other people too, and that they find value in it.
What advice would you give someone who's thinking of quitting real estate? Someone who's struggling?
Someone who's struggling. I think I would first ask them, what are you struggling with? Okay. Because that's going to be the root of the conversation. I would ask them right away, what are you struggling with? And there's lots of things that people struggle with. Usually lead generation, that's the hardest thing. People say, you know, how do I get new business? What do I do? Yeah. I would ask them right away what they're struggling with and kind of try to work around that. I do strongly believe that I don't want don't want to say anybody could do it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of grit.
Yeah.
But if you are driven and you want that for yourself, then you will be successful. And I think for me personally, that was a huge determining factor. I am competitive with myself. And when I set a goal, I have to reach it, or I disappoint myself. And that is the feeling that I hate the most. So when I set out to do something, I try to really do it. So really, I think if you're motivated and you want it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You'll get it. You just will do whatever it takes. And I think that's a mentality you have to have, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do things that you may not enjoy that much. You're going to have to hustle. You might have to knock on doors. You might have to cold call. You might have to do things that are outside of your comfort zone, even stuff like what we're doing today.
Yeah, doing videos.
Yeah, that's totally outside of a lot of people's comfort zones, including my own at times. I struggle with video and kind of breaking into that. So I think though, if you have that mentality, whatever it takes, and you have that grit and that
go for it.
You just are you're gonna succeed. And that's anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like anything. Any business owner will have the ups and downs and think of quitting.
Yeah.
Every 3 months.
Yeah. I think truthfully, I think a lot of agents have a lot of those moments where they're like, is this worth it? Because you do work really hard and you do have to put yourself out there so much that it's difficult at times. And you know, I felt like that a few times, but I'm not a quitter.
No.
And I knew that I wanted to be successful in the business, and I wanted to, I wanted to make clients happy, and I wanted to have repeat clients, and I wanted the referrals, and I kind of wanted to own that little small space of, the big market. And I knew that. And I think that really drove me.
Yeah. Very cool. What would you say you'd be more grateful for in your business this year so far?
I think this year I'm most grateful for repeat and referral clients. I'm going into my 4th year now of real estate, and thank you. So that's kind of, it's sort of a nice turning point in your business, because that's where you start to see the repeat and referral, because of course people are only buying, every 5 to 7 years at most, depending on the person. So at this point, it's kind of starting to happen. Yeah. Like I just sold a house for the 2nd time about a month ago.
The same house.
The same house.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So it's all kind of coming full circle.
Yes.
And the referrals too, I have a lot of really great clients who are sort of like cheerleaders for me, and anytime someone's speaking about real estate, they bring me up and they send me the referral, and I just think that that's amazing.
Having your biggest fans coming back and referring you,
very important. And I think getting a referral too, I mean, it's a huge compliment. But on the other side as well, when somebody's asking a friend or a family member for a referral, that immediately gives you some credibility.
Yes. You go in, they already like you.
You go in with that smaller, instead of it being kind of cold and you don't know them or anything about them and there's no connection, which is still fine and that can work.
Yeah.
But obviously with the referral, you go in, it's a little warmer.
Yeah.
They already have the confidence of their friend and family member in you. So it definitely helps.
Cool. And what are you looking forward to in this decade we're starting?
Well, for this, I'm trying to just focus on per year because it's a lot. But what I really want to focus on this year is video. I'm trying to get more comfortable with it. I just got like my little ring light and my little setup for doing video. So I want to be more involved in video because I think it's like coming back to social media. It's very hard.
Super important.
It's crucial. Video is king, I think, right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's across the board in every industry, really.
Yes. Yeah.
And I really want people to try and get to know me. I want to be a little bit more open about who I am as a person and who I am in my personal life, and not necessarily always, like sold house, new listing. I think, as nice as that is, it gets repetitive, and
people do want to know, what do you do? What do you like? Why would I hire you? Why would I trust you?
They want to know. Yeah. So I really hope to get into that space.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on the episode.
No problem. Thanks for having me.